Good morning, Carolina. He's Will Kronsberg.
And she's Calista Pushman. Welcome back to Carolina Calendar for our second to last show.
Will and I are here about every week, keeping you up to date on what's happening on the USC campus and around Columbia.
This week on the show, rarely is a million of anything good at a baseball stadium, but I don't think you'll mind this time.
And for whatever reason, our 6-4 football team is in the spotlight this week.
Finally, Thanksgiving is on the way. We'll have all the ways you can fully experience the holiday, from running to sleeping. Good morning, Calista.
Good morning, Will. How are we doing today?
We're doing okay. We had a Carolina Tonight live show last night, which was amazing.
Yeah, always a fun time. And it was the first time in, I think it was 3 years, Ethan was saying, that we actually had a monthly live show. So we're finally out of the little slump that we had due to the pandemic. It was just really great to see such a big turnout and have 3 fantastic live programs come out of the station.
We had a great turnout, a much bigger cast than I think you or I are used to, because we missed the last show when we were in DC. We come back and there's 10 people in the show. There have been 5 to 6 max for all of the shows since we've been here.
So it's very cool to see, and just seeing a variety. It's great seeing a variety of writing styles. Finally we're seeing some of these freshmen really step up into these new positions. It's really cool.
Some really good stuff in there. After you finish watching Carolina Calendar, right on the same SGTV YouTube channel, it's our second most recent video. Go over and watch it. Carolina Tonight live show from last night. Now, Calista, this is our final show before Thanksgiving, so I just wanted to say we've been doing this show throughout 2022 since I think the first week of February. And I'm just really thankful to have done this with you.
No, me too. I mean, a lot of the times I forget that the cameras are out here. It's just a fun time with one of my best friends. It's lovely. Not to get mushy, but I'm very thankful.
It's been great. And I hope that next semester we can find a way to keep something going. We'll see what that looks like. We'll let you know. But in the meantime, what do we have going on this week?
All right, so we're starting off the Fireflies Holiday Light Show kicks off this weekend. So tomorrow night, November 19th, through the end of the year, Segra Park will feature over 1 million LED lights with 10 themed areas and Santa appearing for select nights.
Gotta keep them select. Santa can't be there all the time.
Exclusive. He's busy. He's busy. He's making toys and whatever.
He's going back and forth from the North Pole.
Yeah, travel's expensive these days.
There's some days where Harry's razor doesn't come in at the right time. You can't get that beard in the right shape. Plus the cookies. Maybe there's a supply chain issue with the cookies. So it can't be at his best every day.
So keep it to select nights. But still a very exciting event that I think many of us are taking advantage of. I know a big chunk of our staff, of our friends over at the Daily Gamecock are all going. Really cool stuff.
Really cool stuff. I love
cool.
love a light show and a baseball field because I'm a baseball person. Anyway.
What?
Well, speaking of sports, ahead of tomorrow night's South Carolina versus Tennessee football game, SEC Nation will be right here on the Horseshoe. Fun kicks off from 3 to 7 p.m. today with the Paul Feinbaum Show, and then tomorrow Marty and McGee will be at 9 and the big SEC Nation show at 10. Students can, of course, come out for free on the Horseshoe. I'd recommend getting here maybe 7 a.m. before the 9 a.m. show, or you can watch it on the SEC Network. Look for your friends, tell your parents to look for you, whatever it may be.
Some fun posters, maybe? Yeah.
I went to the show last week with SGTV alum Braden Malloy. He had quite the poster talking about the host of SEC Nation, Laura Rutledge. Her daughter picks a game every week, and I don't know, his sign referenced that or something. So after the show, she came over and talked to us. And then he got free tickets to the SEC Championship game for having the best sign of anybody there that day.
So use that as some little motivation to get creative and make a fun sign and maybe get featured. Who knows?
And also use this as an opportunity to remind everybody that I'm a good person because Braden had walked away, had gone to get some food or something when they came to say, oh, you got the best sign, here are your tickets. And I could have just,
You could have just...
But I said, no, my friend will be right back, Hold on a second.
Isn't that lovely?
I was a good person.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, kind of rocks. All right. Shifting gears a little bit. Looking for some safe exercise after Thanksgiving is over, after the food coma and all that jazz.
Of course.
The Shandon Turkey Trot and Burn 5K will be next Friday, November 25th, also known as Black Friday. Registration is $35, and participants are encouraged to dress in their best Thanksgiving turkey burn attire.
What does that look like?
I have no idea.
I get that you're supposed to be like burning off all the turkey that you ate the day before, or the mac and cheese. We'll get into
I was going to say, we're going to get into what's actually prioritized in the Thanksgiving feast.
Sure.
But
how do you burn it off? I get the safe exercise thing because like Black Friday, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
But what is a turkey burn outfit?
Because, okay, are they referencing, wearing, athletic attire? Or am I about to roll up in, a giant turkey costume with flames shooting out of my feathers?
Maybe there's a prize for the person who wears the most ridiculous costume and also runs a 5K.
No, that would, motivate me to actually run the 5K, I think, if I had to wear a fun costume.
You'd probably be burning more calories if you're
I got,
in a
more
suit.
stuff,
Sure.
We'll get into this. We'll get into this later.
You start the race as a big
this feels
turkey.
Like a tangent.
You start the race as a big turkey, and then you're just a wee little bird by the end.
Little skinty little bird. Less likely to get eaten for next Thanksgiving,
Yeah. Speaking of moving on from one holiday to the next, about 2 weeks from now, almost, December 1st, is going to be Christmas Kwanzaa here at the University of South Carolina, hosted by the Office of Multicultural Student Affairs and Russell House Ballroom A. Join them in celebrating the winter holidays from around the world. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all in the name there. Can't exactly figure out all the parts.
It's spelling Mississippi. It's like
I couldn't tell you how to spell it. I copy and pasted it into the script, to be honest. But it'll be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And this is the important part, having been the last 2 years, you got to grab a to-go plate. Get all the extra food so you have it for the next couple days headed into finals. That's the big thing. It's the collegiate strategy. Sure. The lifetime strategy. Mm-hmm. Always be ready for to-go. Especially with, I don't know, I feel like holiday food is sometimes the best food. Yeah, and I feel like these, winter holidays in particular, it's always, hefty. It is... it has some longevity. Gotta bulk up for the winter, especially after your turkey burn. You gotta put it back on. You gotta put it back on, because then what's the point of exercising if you can't just, Right. That was such a weird. Sorry. That was amazing. That was great. It was great. I really tried. All right. Well, coming up, ready to gobble away the holidays. We talk Thanksgiving in a minute. All right. Welcome back. With Thanksgiving break coming up, we got to talk about, of course, Thanksgiving itself and arguably some of the best holiday food that I think everyone just overlooks, given that every store has decided that it's Christmas. Yeah, some people start celebrating Christmas on November 1st, which really seems like you're skipping over a lot of things. I mean, if you celebrate Christmas on November 1st, then I'm 21 now, and that's not important. But let's get the obvious out of the way, Calista. Okay. The best Thanksgiving food is not turkey. Right. If any of you out there were thinking turkey, actually, I really like having viewers. So don't turn this off, but maybe turn around for a minute, have a little timeout moment, If you're thinking turkey, comment why turkey. Yeah, because if you have a very solid argument, I can see leftover turkey. But on Thanksgiving Day, when I have all of the options of all of the fresh sides, and then there's a turkey. I'm going to the sides. I'm feeling like most of my plate is going to be sides, and I'll have a piece of turkey to be polite because of all the effort that went into cooking it. Of course. But I don't know. So if we're saying the sides are one of the best parts of Thanksgiving, and I have a caveat to that in a minute, but let's focus on the sides. Our friends over at the Daily Gamecock, once again, one of our best friends, the Daily Gamecock, Kate Robbins, the assistant copy chief, did a question of the day for the last meeting, which was the best Thanksgiving side. Votes were split amongst a number of things. I will say that I voted for mac and cheese won with 8 votes. Yeah, I personally voted for mashed potatoes because I didn't realize that, I think it's more of a Southern thing, mac and cheese being a traditional side at Thanksgiving. If mac and cheese is ever made at a Thanksgiving, back up north, I don't know, at least with the people that I know, it's not as much of a thing. I don't know, but a homemade mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs on top, that slaps. I feel like the cheesiness of mac and cheese, the fact that it's just inundated with cheese, is inherently winter because it's that bulkiness. And it's so warm and I don't know. Exactly.
as mentioned before the break, like I feel like this, like it's a heftier food, but it also just feels like a warm hug, you know?
Mashed potatoes, to your point, got 5 votes.
Yeah,
so
like
impressive stuff.
mashed potatoes, especially like with like some really good gravy. Like it's like only recently discovered that gravy is good. I got past like that picky kid era, which is great. But yeah, mashed potatoes. It's like anything that's heavy and carbs is just the way to go. I don't know. What else was on our lovely board?
There was a little bit of a debate between stuffing and dressing.
I didn't know that dressing. Who calls it dressing? I had no idea.
Evidently, it's a Southern thing. But I grew up in South Carolina. It's not. I also learned a lot of things from TV, so I don't know that. Maybe members of my family do call it dressing, and I just like don't pay attention. Who knows? But from TV, I learned that it was stuffing. So my vote for what to call it was towards stuffing. But altogether, the two names got 5 votes.
It's like, I don't know. My thing with the terminology debate there is like, why would you have the word, like dressing in my brain is like balsamic vinaigrette. Like,
sure.
you know, like dressing is something you put on a salad. Why would you also use that for stuff? Like stuffing, like, you know, you sometimes stuff that, some people stuff the turkey, so it's like stuff it. Like it makes sense.
Dressing feels more like an outside thing.
Yeah, not an inside thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, especially like when it's just like, as a standalone, I'm not gonna be like, hey, can you pass me the dressing? Because then I'm like, what do I pass you? Balsamic vinaigrette. I don't know why I'm stuck on balsamic vinaigrette, but balsamic vinaigrette.
Sounds good to me.
Or bread thing.
Yeah. Other high vote getters, green bean casserole got 4.
I don't think I've had green bean casserole in my life.
There are people who go crazy over green bean casserole, but I don't like green beans, so I'm assuming I wouldn't like it.
Probably not.
And then bread rolls got 3.
Okay, holiday rolls in particular, I will stand by this, are the best. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know where my family gets them from, but something about holiday rolls just hit so different. They're good with butter. They're good with lunch meats. They're good just in any capacity. It's just so much better than regular bread.
I will say one thing that didn't make the list, because I didn't add it myself, my vote went towards mac and cheese. My family has like a homemade applesauce recipe that goes well with anything. I mean, you can like dip your turkey in the applesauce, it's a good touch, or some potatoes.
Some sweet in the
Yeah,
mix. I like that.
It's like cinnamony, it's great.
Which, speaking of sauces, I will try to like round out our conversation here. What are your thoughts on cranberry sauce?
I don't have like huge controversial thoughts that it's great or that it's terrible. I've had it before, it's fine. It's basically just like a fruit jam.
I don't know. It freaks me out.
I prefer strawberry or grape.
Yeah, it
but
freaks me out
cranberry is
personally.
whatever.
It's funny because at my house for Thanksgiving, my stepdad insists on like doing it like homemade, and it comes out more like a jam, as you like described.
Well, in the can, it's gelatinous.
I'll get there. So the funny thing is like, Troy spends all of this time making this beautiful cranberry sauce, like so much time making it. And then my grandparents come over and just bring the can and then prefer the can and only eat the canned stuff, which is just like, I don't know why that messes with my brain. I'm like, wouldn't you rather like have this
I don't know.
beautiful...
Sometimes it's better when you get it from, I mean, I'm not a good cook, so.
A great baker though.
Well, thank you for bringing us right to the other part of the discussion, which was my caveat. Our side's really the best part of Thanksgiving when there's a dessert table.
Pecan pie, baby.
As I've said
Pecan
before,
pie.
my family knows how to do dessert. Make some cookies, maybe a cake, maybe some pies. I've heard talk, both within my family, maybe, but also from pals, about cheesecake being part of the Thanksgiving spread.
We can literally sit here and talk about this all day, but I'm going to send us over to break because otherwise I think we're just going to leave way too hungry and leave y'all way too hungry. So after the break, we're skipping right to our favorite segment with some tangents you definitely don't want to miss.
Welcome back. Now, I usually go first with this whole tangent bit, but this time I feel like you need to kick it off.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been too noticeable on camera or not. I mean, it's nice that I'm facing you and I have like this like section of hair covering my face. But on this side, you will notice there's a lovely little bit of butterfly tape that I attempted to put foundation on, but ultimately decided it just doesn't hide anything. So, bringing it back to the beginning of the show. Carolina Tonight was last night. We do it in Russell House Underground. And we do a live stream, and sometimes it gets stressful when
Sure.
you're setting up a live
Sure.
stream, and you're like, you want to be like, go, go, go. You want to make sure everything's put together as early as possible. And so we were like, we need a shotgun mic because we can't hear anything that they're saying, and we want to make sure for our lovely viewers out there that you can hear the lovely, funny comedy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typical. And so I power walk my way out of Russell Underground,
But she didn't, did she?
but like in the cartoons when then the character tries to go through like a glass door and they're like bling afterward.
It was really good.
So I went face first very loudly into a glass door last night. Concussion TBD. But it was it was fitting for the comedy show that I have a moment like that. I mean, you
But
really.
it was a half hour before the comedy show.
You really peaked when you get all of the comedians to be instead of be tea,
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think it was that bad initially because it hurt. It really, really hurt. It sounded like it hurt. It was a very loud glass door apparently. So I started power walking back to our table, and I was like, I just need to walk it off. But then everyone's faces slowly went to the horrified what's going on. I think you can probably better describe it because at this point I've
What's
closed my
going
eyes.
on? Yeah.
I don't know. I felt gruesome details. I felt wet going down my face, and I was like, "This isn't normal."
She was bleeding.
I was
Let's
bleeding.
just get
I was
this out of the way.
bleeding.
She
I was
had
bleeding.
just like a little stream of blood, coming
just
right there.
It's okay.
And-
Head wounds bleed a lot. It wasn't that bad. I didn't need stitches. I don't think. And so.
We'll go with that.
Shout out to my lovely boyfriend Nick, he's basically in SGTV at this point. He just isn't onboarded, but he's our unofficial Uber and cheerleader. Sweeps me up and carries me out of Russell Underground. To which we quickly discovered that we couldn't find much first aid equipment.
So, okay, so now we're within 25 minutes of the show, and not only are we looking for a microphone and trying to figure out we can get everything ready for the show, half the staff is now looking for a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And just chaos. We got everything worked out.
Yeah, I never found out exactly what happened on y'all's end, because honestly, it was the
It worked out.
embarrassment and humiliation of walking through a glass door that drowned out any other thought or pain. But yeah, that being said, my rant is glass doors. Let's stop having those simply because of this one incident.
So when I was, let's say about 18, 19 years ago, when I was young, I punched my hand straight through a single pane glass door.
Well,
the door broke.
I was gonna say, at least you made it through. That's interesting. I wouldn't say it's better.
I
but
don't think it is. See, because remember how you said you didn't need stitches for your head? I did need stitches for my arm, and I still have a scar,
Yeah, you're
But,
cool. Gotta
But everybody's
got a story
okay.
to tell.
I think what I recall is I was running around the house with some friends, with some neighbors, and I saw our dog outside, and I wanted to go. She was barking. I wanted to go punch through the door and pet the dog or whatever it may be, and I didn't know there was a door. It's glass. My brain couldn't comprehend glass, but I just wanted to touch her, and my hand just went straight through.
That's so
Needless to say,
interesting.
I think they reinforced the door, but I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
It was a
not
crazy.
fun.
It was a crazy
I'm,
time.
I'm grateful that I still walked out of the bathroom, proceeded to get the mic I was set on the mission to get, and
Stayed for the whole show.
Stayed for the whole show. It was great. It was lovely. And also, I am grateful that I didn't end up breaking the glass door at Russell Underground because I can't afford to fix that. So.
Fair enough. So, what follows an injury is always a great nap.
I love naps.
I love naps.
Naps are
Whether it's, we're talking about injuries, nap. We're talking about Thanksgiving, you always take a good afternoon nap. And we're also talking about, being college students, being almost 21 years old, and knowing how to appreciate a good nap.
Yeah.
Sleeping is underrated.
I will
And I
say,
stand with
the
that.
sleep that I got after banging my head on the glass door, phenomenal. Phenomenal sleep. Why are you giving me that? What's that look for?
I hope you're not concussed.
I'm not.
Okay.
Maybe.
But anyway, naps, they're
On that
great.
note.
You feel like with the stress of work, I had to turn in something at 9 a.m. today. I was here until almost 11 helping with the show. We have the live broadcast of hockey tonight. We'll be out late. So it's good to get a little bit of sleep in the middle of the day when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Like earlier this week on Wednesday, I didn't have an afternoon class. So I went home at about 1 o'clock. I didn't have to be back here until 5:30. Got a little shut-eye in. That's always nice.
That's so nice when you can fit that in. I don't know. Are you able to power nap? Like, can you take like a 15-minute nap?
I don't know. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I will be up, like I'll do one thing, whether that's working on something on my computer or going and eating something, and then I'll lay right back down and I can sleep for about 15 minutes. Usually that tends to remedy the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in that way, yeah.
I don't know, that's like a genuine talent. Like, I'm someone where if I go down for a nap, I'm out for at least an hour.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My dad is the same way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I know he'll watch
It's
this,
genuinely, I think napping is a skill.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm talented.
You are talented.
Thank
Well,
you,
good
and
job.
I appreciate
Good job.
Well, on that note, we wrap up Carolina Calendar for today, November 18th, 2022.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
And to keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Will Kronsberg.
And I'm Calista Pushman. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great weekend, Carolina, forever to thee.